The war in Ukraine has taken a dramatic turn. On August 6, 2024, Ukrainian forces launched a daring incursion into Russian territory. Ukrainian troops, armed with advanced weaponry, swiftly penetrated deep into Kursk Oblast. Their objective to strike at the heart of Russia's war machine. This audacious move sent shockwaves across the globe. Early reports suggested that the Ukrainian forces had achieved significant gains. They had bypassed Russian defenses and established a foothold within Kursk. The element of surprise played a crucial role in their initial success. Meanwhile, images and videos began to emerge on social media, purportedly showing Ukrainian troops inside Russia. The world held its breath, waiting to see how far Ukraine was willing to go. The stakes were higher than ever before. As Ukrainian troops advanced deeper into Kursk Oblast, their objective became clear: to cripple Russia's ability to wage war. Their primary target was the strategically vital railway hub in the city of Kursk. Ukrainian forces, utilizing precision strikes, successfully neutralized the railway hub, throwing Russian logistics into disarray. This decisive blow dealt a significant setback to the Russian war effort. In addition to the railway hub, Ukrainian forces also targeted key pipeline infrastructure in the region. These pipelines carried vital resources, further weakening Russia's war capabilities. The human cost of the conflict continued to escalate. Early estimates suggested that over 500 Russian soldiers had been killed in the fighting. The capture of Kursk's strategic infrastructure marked a turning point in the war. It showcased the growing capabilities of the Ukrainian military. The speed and ferocity of the Ukrainian advance into Kursk exposed a critical flaw in Russia's military strategy: a failure to anticipate and counter Ukrainian capabilities. Several factors contributed to this intelligence failure. Firstly, Russia underestimated the resolve and capabilities of the Ukrainian military. They clung to the outdated notion of a weak and disorganized adversary. Secondly, Ukrainian forces employed sophisticated deception tactics, effectively masking their true intentions. They exploited weaknesses in Russian surveillance and communication networks, maintaining the element of surprise. Thirdly, internal dissent and low morale within the Russian military likely played a role. Reports suggested that Russian soldiers were ill-equipped, poorly trained, and demoralized. The Kremlin's initial response to the incursion was a mixture of denial and confusion. This intelligence failure had far-reaching consequences for the Kremlin. Section 4. International shockwaves, condemnation, and calls for peace. The Ukrainian incursion into Kursk sent shockwaves through the international community. Western leaders expressed concern over the escalation of the conflict, urging both sides to exercise restraint. The United Nations called for an immediate ceasefire and a return to diplomatic negotiations. The United States, while reiterating its support for Ukraine's right to defend its territory, cautioned against further escalation. European Union members condemned the violence and called for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The world watched anxiously, hoping that diplomacy and reason would prevail. Section 5. The price of war. Assessing the costs and future implications. The Ukrainian incursion into Kursk marked a pivotal moment in the ongoing war. It demonstrated Ukraine's growing military prowess and challenged Russia's narrative of control. However, the long-term consequences of this bold move remained uncertain. The economic costs of the war continued to mount for both sides. The destruction of infrastructure, coupled with sanctions and trade disruptions, had plunged the region into an economic crisis. The human cost was immeasurable, with thousands dead and millions displaced. The Ukrainian incursion into Kursk served as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the devastating consequences of war.